On? It's your girl Shantae C checking in with a brand spanking new 10 things. I'm chilling with my home girl.
Nia, what's up? It's another Wednesday. We're here back in the building.
Yeah.
We're going to get into some of this celebrity tea and for sure some things. But first, we're going to start out with shouting out our sponsor here, Lucky Coin. If you have a small business you want to grow, hit us up and we'll get you in touch. Get the bag. I can vouch. Lucky Coin gets you to the bag.
And listen, guys, y'all ain't been hitting us up. Do you really want to know how to get to the bag?
Get to the bag.
Come hit us up. We want to tell you all about it.
Code Tea and things.
Yes.
Lucky Bucks, get you to the bag.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about. What we got going on in celebrity news tonight?
All right. Well, my baby strikes again, Mr. Chris Breezy.
Oh my.
Y'all know I love him.
Oh my.
But oh my God, congrats to Chris Brown.
Okay.
He starts his tour June 8th, birthday month, June. In Amsterdam. I was like, oh, Breezy, I might have to come to the Netherlands and see you, boo.
Right.
I think the show would be so much better there.
Ooh, right.
Well, a lot of things are legal. I don't smoke, but okay, for the people that do. In the Netherlands, and then he will hit Atlanta in August. They've already had to add a third show. He's already sold out 2 shows in Atlanta.
Dude, you want to go? Because I've been teeter-tottering on whether or not to go. And I kind of really want to do it.
I'm in. Y'all know you don't have to tell me twice.
Okay, it's at the Brave Stadium.
Is it? Oh,
yes,
cool.
It's at the Brave Stadium.
I wish it was at State Farm, so I could
finagle some shit.
Finagle to the front. Finagle to the front.
Yeah.
But okay, I might could make something happen at the Braves. I got a little pull over there.
Right.
Little bit.
Just a little smidge.
Well, we drink good over there because we do some Brave games.
We do drink well. I don't know. This might have to be a whole thing. We gonna talk about that off the air. And if some of y'all Atlanteans want to come hang out with 10 things, if we can get it all figured out, we gonna let y'all know. Come hang out with your girl.
For sure. Oh yeah.
We like it.
And we'll get you drinking good as well.
Yeah, so we'll all be feeling right.
Feeling great.
Feeling good, feeling great.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, let's look into that. We're going to have to do the third show now. The first 2 sold out.
Damn. This feels like another Usher situation.
I know. But I feel like radio stations... radio stations. I got some friends on the radio.
Look, y'all know who y'all are.
Radio stations.
Right. Y'all know who y'all
have
are.
some block tickets.
Y'all know who y'all are. If you're supposed to be hitting us up, please do so. You can hit us up at TN
I'm
Things.
just going to add you. I'm adding you tonight. And just read in between the...
THANGZ@gmail.com. Hit us up.
All right, but congrats to Chris Breezy. I think his shows always do well.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's going to do that picture thing.
And he's so good.
And interactive with the crowd.
And so humble, y'all.
Humble.
I've seen Chris Brown now twice. And so...
Have I ever seen him live? I don't think so. Have I ever said I've seen him live?
No. I've seen him twice. And he was good both times. So I'm ready to knock on door 3.
All right. But moving on and let the drama begin.
Oh, Lord.
So Young Buck, on the 7th, that was like, 2 days ago?
Uh-huh.
He was arrested in Tennessee.
Oh.
So I hate that, but I don't know why he just don't follow the rules. Apparently, a part of his probation and his bond, and he had a bond supervisor. Okay, I don't know.
What's a bond supervisor?
Y'all hit us up.
I don't know nothing about a bond supervisor.
But anyway, the DA filed a motion because he was supposed to see his bond supervisor twice a month. Missed some. They had GPS on him as a
sheesh.
part of the whole bond probation situation. And he missed a couple of meetings, and the DA filed motion to pick him up.
Well,
so
damn.
He's serving 30 days.
Get y'all act together, please, Lord.
I know. I thought he was doing better. Don't thought, think. Okay. But yeah, so young buck has been arrested in Tennessee. Yo.
Wowzers.
And moving on to more drama, which I was a little sad about this because I actually like Kenya.
Kenya Moore?
Yeah.
What's going on with Kenya Moore?
Well, what's not going on is that she's not on Real Housewives of Atlanta anymore.
Oh.
She was suspended and then she was terminated.
Why was she suspended?
Well, so apparently, and they say it was an old cast member. I would have to dig for the name. Nobody we know. But apparently, she had some beef with someone. Mm-hmm. I heard it was some threats or whatever. Oh. Not good threats. But she put up some really explicit pictures of them. Oh. And this is live TV. Basically, rumor has it, because I haven't seen it, the picture, because they started pulling stuff down real quick. Oh. But the girl was giving head.
Fellatio? Oh, wow.
So, I don't, and I guess when you're on these type of reality shows, you get away with so much.
Yeah.
Because I would think, let me not even say I would think. I'm not on a reality show. But just in real life, like, I have lawyers, I have mentors, I have people that I can talk to. And sometimes...
and they're going to stop you and say, girl, that's not a good idea.
Yeah, sometimes when I'm like, I want to put somebody on a billboard, they're like, hold on.
That ain't gonna work.
My lawyer's like, hold on.
That ain't gonna work.
Don't drop it. Let's do it this way.
That ain't gonna work.
Right. So I'm just like, if, and I have nowhere near the money they have, nowhere near the anything they have, but, well, maybe, I don't know.
I was getting ready to say, girl, I wouldn't count yourself out.
Maybe, I don't know. But I do have shit to lose.
Yeah.
And a lot of stuff to lose.
And for Kenya, that was like a steady paycheck. So, go figure.
Yeah, that's why she's terminated. That is her job.
Man. But, I will say to everyone's defense that decides to join this world of reality TV is that they say it's like you feel like you're being sucked into a different world. Like you have a whole different set of standards when you're on these shows. And it's like hard to distinguish not on the camera versus on the camera. Because sometimes people just simply do stuff to try to like make it more... I don't know. I don't know. I just really think it's crazy as hell, to be honest with you, but
Yeah. And she's smart.
Yeah.
So
why?
That was a little shocking to me.
Like, why are you doing all of that?
But I guess sometimes when people push your buttons, you have that blackout moment and you're like, all right, you want to come? You want to do it? Let's do it. Let's all the way do it. But I don't know. Consult with people, please, friend. Consult with people, please.
You straight trizipping.
And I'm sure she had a nice paycheck.
Because she had been on there a long time.
And when you look back sometimes, you have to think, damn, was it worth it? Because nobody's worth you losing your bag. I mean, unless it's like some emergency family stuff or something, but just even some drama, nobody's worth you losing your bag. Believe me, there's been some times that I've had to think,
is it worth it? Damn. Is it really worth it?
Damn, I don't want to spend 30 days in jail because I could lose a lot of money and possibly a lot. So fuck.
Yeah,
I can't do it.
I think as you get older, you definitely elevate. And so, what can you say?
Well, I mean, damn.
Poor baby.
I know, but I'm going to continue to watch because I'm actually watching.
And let us know.
Because I'm supporting my girl Shamia, because y'all know I don't really do reality, but I love Shamia.
Yeah.
So I'm supporting girl.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to let Shantae bring us into our topic of the night. And we definitely need you guys to weigh in because it's a lot.
So, guys, our topic for tonight is when your mate is not elevating themselves professionally, is it okay to have a conversation with them? And so let me just tell you a little story and we'll just see how it goes, right? So let's say you've been with somebody for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, right?
Right. So we could have started out in our mid-20s and now we're in our mid-30s.
Early 20s and now we're in our mid-20s or our mid-30s, right?
Yeah. So that's a different.
And they have a job that doesn't, have 401k, that doesn't have all the things that you need to kind of like play in the adult world, like to be able to get a car in your name, get a house in your name, get things, acquire things. So you might have the cash, but you might not have the credit. Like, is it okay to have these conversations because they have a job that's kind of like, okay, they're good at it, they love it, but it's not providing the things that they need to really navigate in the world as an adult? Is it okay to have those conversations?
I think for sure it should be, but I could understand how it would be a hard conversation to have because it's always a hard conversation telling somebody that I don't feel like, especially somebody you love, that you're on this journey with and growing with, that I don't feel like you're elevating to your full potential, because how do you drop that? Right?
Well, okay, so I started doing some research on the topic because I was just like, I just kind of got to know, like, how do you even approach something like that? And I think you have to start in love. Like, hey, I know that this is going to be a tough conversation to have, but I'm doing this for us. Like, how can we do this together to elevate you? Like, I've noticed this about you. And so, where I'm at in my life, I want you to be able to elevate yourself as well. Now, I had a boyfriend many years ago because, as y'all know, I've been married 18 years. So, this was many, many, many years ago. And I remember him saying to me, if I never do anything else but this, which at the time the person was working for Sonic and they were working on the line, like as a fry dude. And they're like, if I never do anything more than this, are you going to be satisfied? And my answer to them was hell to the no, because I'm in college. I'm trying to get my degree. I'm trying to elevate myself. I'm trying to do all these things so that I can move to the next level in my life.
Mm-hmm.
So, no, I'm not okay with that. And that, amongst some other things became the demise of our relationship because he wasn't in college. And not to say that college is the end all to be all, because it definitely isn't. People get in the bag without all of that. But just where I was in my life, and just knowing that the reason why I went to school was so that I could elevate myself. He didn't have to do that, but what he did have to do was want more for himself because that
Right,
wasn't
'cause
okay for me.
The issue wasn't about Sonic and being the line cook. It was, I want to learn this all the way through. You would have been okay because I want to own a couple of Sonics.
Right. And it doesn't even have to be like to that level. But my thing is you can't stay stagnant. Like you can't just stay where you're at. At some point, you have to feel the pressure that this is just a season and you got to continuously elevate yourself. The way that I look at my life, I don't want to be working for my whole entire life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I want to be able to say at some point, I had a plan, I executed my plan so that now I could be on chill. And I needed to have a person, my person, that had the same thought process as me. Now, it doesn't always happen like that simple. It's not always okay. You put this plan together and you walk through the doors and then it's like magically hunky dory just because you got a plan. But my thing is, you got to at least have a plan.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, but I do see how it could be a hard conversation to have. I do see now, I do know people that have had the conversation because I kind of reached out a little bit about our topic, and just getting some advice from older people. Mm-hmm. And I did have, a more seasoned person tell me, I actually had to have a talk with my husband at one point in life because now we have kids and, we've been together since we were, in our 20s or whatever. Yeah. Now they're, I ain't gonna throw your age out there, girl, but now they're close. They're about 50. Okay. Ish. Mm-hmm. But they have kids and things like that. And, we playing a game called life. And her thing was, when they started getting in their 30s and the kids are younger and stuff, she had to be like, I need to make sure if anything happens to me, you can hold our house down. You can give our kids the education that we've planned for. I need to know that because I love you, that you'll be good. And she said that conversation went well and her husband started to, elevate within his job. He's still at the same job, but he is at a
higher level.
A high level where he's not just working the grounds, the floor. I mean, in the warehouse. Yeah. Anymore. Well, he's in a plant, but he's not just there anymore. He has climbed because she said that really hit home, especially, when they have, people around them passing away and you have to be good.
Yeah.
You have to be good. Like I know right now, today, my mentor, he is, and it's a very sad story, he has had to fly to DC like 3-4 times a month because he had a close family member pass away, and the wife never worked, never did anything. And so,
he's having to take care of it
and help them and show how to move assets and just different things, so you just never know. But I could understand how that's a hard conversation to have.
Yeah.
But I think flipping it in that way, because if you come from a point like that, somebody got love. They got to understand, especially when there's kids involved.
And not just that, but it is difficult to reach the level of sometimes where you really want to be when it's really just only one person doing it. So if it's the two of you, then the both of you make it so that things can happen, right? Whether that's a vacation, whether that's a better house, whether that's starting a business, like you can't do it alone, right? When you have a mate, especially when you're trying to elevate, because there's only so much that one person can do. There's only so far your credit can go. There's only so much a person can add to the bank account.
Right.
It has to be the both of you.
Right. And I actually know a couple where the husband, well, sorry, he's not a husband, he's a fiance, but he makes a lot of money. He makes good money, but his money that's made is cash. He works in the entertainment industry.
Right.
So his money that's made is cash, I don't think that she's asking him to quit his job or something, but you're going to have to open a business. You're going to have to do something because now they're in a position that they started this relationship in their 20s. Now, growing lady, she's in her 30s. And so everything has to go in her name. They're in the process of building a house right now. His car, everything, because even though when you're making cash, if you don't have a business to run it through, or they want to know where the cash is coming from the next month to pay that shit.
And not just that, but when you get qualified for things like homes and cars and stuff like that, they look at your debt to income ratio.
Lord.
So it's not like you could just keep getting stuff in your name.
Yeah.
Because they're looking at your income to say, okay, you're leveraged to the hilt and you cannot get anything else in your name.
Because you don't want
even if your credit is the bomb.com.
Right, because you could be at that point where I'm approved for the house, I found the house I want, I got the house I want, and boom, now you got to pay off that $50,000 car, and they want it paid off.
Right.
That part.
Well, you're not quite approved. They want you to pay that off first.
Because your debt to income is just out of control. So, but I could see it being a hard conversation to have and to approach and all that stuff.
Yeah, but I do think that if there's any type of substance to the relationship, if there's really that real love and genuine care and concern, and if you guys are on the same wavelength about getting a bag and having the things that you want, then hopefully they won't be too in their feelings to accept the conversation that you're trying to have. And especially if you don't come to the conversation with, you got to do this or you need to do that or why you not doing this, because people don't receive that type of stuff. But it's more of, maybe a pillow talk conversation like, hey, babe, I was just kind of thinking about such and such or whatever. Or
we got 15 more years to put in, and I don't want to work and I don't want you working. I want to be traveling.
Right.
Is that a good conversation to have?
Or, hey, we're looking at our financial goals together. And, this is what I see, as a contributing factor. Just want to know if that's how you feel. And how do we get to that place together? And you have to be, I feel that you have to have enough patience and understanding to know that they may not have an answer in the moment. They may have to think about it. They might have to come back to you and say, you know what? I don't have an answer right now.
Yeah.
But
do you think it's okay to tell somebody, hey, I know you like your job. I know you've been there for a long time. Do you think it's that, for our future or whatever, that you should maybe try to elevate within the company? And if you don't see elevation within the company, maybe you should consider switching jobs. I think that's hard to say to somebody.
Yeah.
Because it's almost saying like,
you ain't doing good enough.
You okay to, not be doing good enough.
You ain't doing good enough. You need to do better. But here's the thing. Some people have to hear it that way, too.
Mic drop, Shantae.
I mean, but not in a bad way, because like me.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
Because like with me, I'm not really the type of person that can like get a metaphor and like understand what it is you're trying to tell me. You're telling me this story about somebody else that it happened to, and then you think that I'm supposed to correlate that to me. Like, I am not good with that. So I like more direct communication.
I feel you.
I want somebody to say, you know what? I don't like this, and this. And in the moment, it's going to sting me. In the moment, I'm going to hurt. In the moment, I'm probably even going to fight about it. But because I like direct communication, I'm also going to take what you said and I'm going to mull it over. And I might be thinking about that for 2, 3, 4, even a week. I might still be thinking about that thing that you said to me, that you were so very direct because you knew you had to get the point across.
Yeah, I feel you.
And then I might circle back around to it in a way that I feel is like the way that I think that you would receive the message back. Like, hey, I was thinking about what you said the other day. And you know what? I think that you made some really good points. But I might not agree with this, and this, but I do agree that I need to look at that. I need to take a harder look at that.
Yeah. But I think that it's a conversation that can be had.
Oh, yeah.
You just gotta understand how and why.
Yeah.
But it is a conversation that can be had.
And be patient. Be patient when you are having that conversation, to know that you may not get an answer right away. So you can't be frustrated in the fact that you don't get the exact answer that you want, because change doesn't happen overnight.
Okay, I'm with you.
Change happens over a series of you trying to do better. It doesn't happen instantaneously.
I got it. We got it.
But you can have
conversations to be had. Bam.
Bam. So we got 1 minute left. Let me see. You got a tip for us?
I actually do.
Okay, what's up?
So, I have been on this journey to just put smiles on people's faces.
Oh,
so
I like it.
Yes. Oh my God. So I have, and you can Google it because there's different sites out there where you could personalize things. But I have taken like pictures from girls' trips and things like that. And, you guys know my cousin has been down with a broken leg, but she loves wine. So I took some, personalized, and I made wine labels for us. Very inexpensive.
That was so sweet.
You can drink the bottle with your homegirl and she can save the bottle for decoration.
That is so sweet.
And you can make it for like anniversaries and married couples. I'll post the website that I use, but there's different ones. So just put personalized wine labels. Very inexpensive. You buy the wine you want. They send you the label and you just smack it on there.
That's really nice. And one of my very dear friends, one of my best friends, actually, she just bought me some new wine glasses. So maybe I need to buy a label, put it on a wine bottle, and bring the glasses over to her house that she bought for me, and didn't have a couple sips.
And just putting a smile on somebody's face. I think I mentioned it a few weeks ago. I went to Starbucks, and I hardly ever go to Starbucks because I'm a Dunkin' girl. Okay,
excuse you.
I'm a Dunkin' daily. Okay, they know me by name. But when I pulled up, and I didn't the person in front of me didn't know what I ordered. I mean, well, I guess they knew when they asked the cashier, but I had just gotten a coffee and
they paid for it.
They paid for it. So I paid for the person behind me.
Yes, I've definitely
But
done
it definitely put a huge smile on my face because I'm like, oh my God, that is so nice.
Yeah. And to just add some little sugar onto that, me and my family, right after church one day, we had gone out to get something to eat. And someone in the restaurant paid for our whole meal.
Because just know it's going to come back.
And I was just like, oh my God. Like, I definitely wasn't expecting that. And I mean, it's not like we were eating up, a small country or nothing, but it was just really nice.
It's just so nice.
And that made me feel so good. Like, I was like, oh my God. It almost brought a tear to my eye. But I know we're over time. We're over time. But if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you can hit us up at tnthangz, THANGZ, @gmail.com. And remember, we're looking for the likes, guys. Please, if you like what we're doing, follow us, and share with your friends all about Tea and Things. We love you guys. We will see you next week.
See you next Wednesday, same time, same place.